to do a special exclusive episode. So hello, everybody out there on YouTube. I am Kurt Roskoff, host, producer, and founder of the World of Ability Podcast Network. We have a particular opportunity here with AJ. AJ does coaching, and we're going to learn all about that today. AJ has been on a show previously and has enjoyed our group discussion format of our shows. And so we are also on Instagram Live and Twitter X. And so both of my personal Facebook profiles and out on LinkedIn Live. And so we're going to get going here. I have been doing radio for 7 years, and that is with River West Radio. And it is the summer of 2020. We set out to do live streaming, and we teamed up with Transform U Media Network. And what had happened that following month, which that following month would be August 2020, I was told by one of our colleagues here with World of Ability Podcast Network and Transforming Media Network that a friend of ours, John Morley, does live streaming through his Jay Moore Tech Talk show. And so I got with the Happy Neighbor Project and have been networking ever since. And these trails have brought me to AJ. And so in networking fashion, business networking, with the happiest place in the world for business people, I come to find out about AJ, and we have a lot of mutual contacts through being a part of this community, HMP. So AJ, I'd like to give you a moment to, in business networking fashion, just take a couple minutes and share more about who you are, what you do, and your services as coaching, and then we'll go from there. Take it away, AJ.
Yeah, I do something very simple. Any entrepreneur, any coach who wants to double their revenue, I help them do that. The way I do it is I help them find these 1% shifts that they can do to double their revenue. And that's as simple as what I do.
Excellent. So let's dial this back. What were you doing before coaching?
I was a software engineer before I was coaching, actually. I did my master's and then I started doing software engineering. I wanted to get into leadership, and that's how I kind of stepped into the world of coaching.
Okay, well, what we'd like to do today, AJ, if we can, I know that there are a list of coaches that I've come to meet through my trails and 3.5 years worth of networking with a group like HMP, the Chief Happiness Officer. I kind of say his work reaches tens of thousands of people. So the fact that I allude to that I've met several coaches is not surprising, because each of you coaches really practically, can only serve so many. And so, but how do you distinguish yourself? Because you too are aware that I'm sure in your networking, you've probably been right there in a one-to-one conversation with another coach. So you probably already figured this out. How do you look at what other coaches are doing and then kind of create that distinction to you, AJ, being a coach?
So there are two ways to look at this, right? One is from a marketing perspective. One is from a delivery perspective. From a marketing perspective, I think it's very simple. As I mentioned, a lot of people try to say, oh, I use this method, I use that method. My method is very simple. A lot of entrepreneurs, they are unaware of, they don't even have the time to look at these small things that they miss out. And so I come in, I help them find out what is the bottleneck, whether it's within themselves or in their business, and shift that. What I do differently when I'm coaching is a lot of coaches today are mostly consultants, unfortunately. So there's this word that's all mixed up. And there's a lot of advice given about what someone should go do. What I do differently is I don't just work with them to transform their business. I also help them transform. So as the business transforms, I help them become more to be able to handle the challenges they have. And so inevitably their business ends up growing.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that. I know, like before we went on right now, I shared with you that, I was in engineering school back in the 90s, 90 to 94. So that was with the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And what I learned about the career of the breadth of engineers out there is that there is a lot of this trend that engineers go out and practice for some time, the trade of engineering, but then there is this find that engineers make a natural good fit in the business realm. And an example of that is my brother. My brother owns a business. He's an engineer and he is a manufacturer's rep for a lot of engineering components. So he's in this business space, and so a lot of engineers branch off into communications. And so there is this place in the business world for analytics. When you have a business is a money-making machine, you can kind of have an engineer, founded person, to come in and to look at the workings of a business. And then, before we went on live here, I was talking about, just the oversimplified, one thing in engineering is it's kind of like, input, you're kind of forming a black box, and an output. So that's kind of what a business is. It's kind of like, what are you bringing into your business? What does your business do with people and the resources and everything coming into the business? How does it sort it out? And then everybody's looking for, what is the output of your business? Right? And so AJ, what are some of the outputs of your consulting? Like you're saying to work on profits, and so basically it's very attractive because businesses are systems for making money, to make revenue. That is the definition of why we have a business. But for your consulting, to say a business owner can do it without you, and now you enter the scene and you're doing all this coaching with a business owner, other administrators, or however you make yourself available to the people in the business, how are they then working with you to create this output that their business is better at yielding profits?
So when you ask that, are you asking the strategies I use, or what's the focus of the question?
The focus of the question is, like in business with purchasing decisions, like a business person, like we're networking, like with HMP and, on Zoom sessions, we're going into breakout rooms and we're trying to create these relationships where people know, like, and trust us. And the idea is that, we're out here able to refer people to you to say, I know somebody, AJ, that's a good fit with you. They're going to love your coaching. Why would I say that they're going to love your coaching?
Because the way I coach, one is when people work with me, within about 3 to 4 hours, inevitably they have some form of breakthrough that shifts the paradigm of themselves and their business. 2, when I coach, I'm not just giving them, oh, your business is going to be better. You are going to be better. And let me explain what that means. People struggle with having time for themselves. They start getting into business. They're sucked into this world where they're like, okay, I need to keep going to produce all this stuff. But then after some time, they're burnt out. They don't know what to do. They're just exhausted, right? So I help them not just in the domain of business, but I can bring in a shift in themselves, which what I mean is finding time for their family, finding time for themselves, finding time for growing themselves. What would it look like to enjoy their life and business? So it's a multi-paradigm conversation.
Okay, so do you add anything in on top of like you and I are having a conversation? You're talking me through it. You're reaching my mind audibly. Are you giving, like, is there a book that goes along with it? Is there a workbook? Is it, take notes? Are you exchanging emails? Like, what's the structure behind it? Is it just literally a verbal experience and,
No.
conversation during the coaching time? Or is there some application on the keyboard? Or are we getting our pencil out and taking notes? What is the experience of being coached by you?
So one part is, of course, the verbal and physical exchange that's happening, right? But another level is that because each person I'm working with is so different, and it's just there's a lot of similarity between people and there's a lot of differences. And so when I work with them, the kind of stuff I give, so let's say someone is more, let's say they need books, they like to read, they like to go back and revise what they do. So for people like that, I send out notes, I send out what stuff they can, resources they can look into, what are the things they need to read, right? So those are the things I can give them. If someone's auditory, let's say they're having challenges in the middle of a week or middle of some point, they can send me a message saying, I need help with this, and I will get back to them with a voice note about what they can do, right? And so there are all these different spaces, and it's usually catered towards what works best for the entrepreneur. And that's what I love working on, because I myself have been in a coaching program with someone else. And the sad part today is it's starting to become a factory machine where people are just looking for clients. Oh, I want to make this money. I'm going to make this promise. I'm going to market all this. But when someone gets into that program, the delivery is not great. And so what I want to do is I want to deliver a class of experience where I'm not looking to take 1,000 people. I mean, that's not my focus. What I want to do is if I take one person or even 10 people, they should have an experience, and they they should get more than what they asked for.
That is perfect. So you've done stuff as an engineer. When I look at you, I still look at you that you're an engineer, but we're talking about your role capacity and how you can serve as a coach. So I definitely we're focusing on your practice as a coach, your business as a coach, and how we can benefit taking on the coaching that you can deliver and interact with us on. But I want to ask you, so from, looking at, more so just being an engineer to now you got into coaching and you've been doing this all along the way to this point, what has been happening in your journey taking on the identity of a coach that from when you started and had those initial thoughts that I think I want to do this to now, obviously we can hear the conviction in your voice. We can hear the energy coming out of you that this is happening. This is like real time, AJ is a coach. And I put on all of the labeling of this video, AJ, our coach, because that's the way I think of you, is that when you're here, you're making yourself available to us at this moment. You're our coach. But what has happened from day one to right now today that your excitement for being a coach and what you're seeing in, people responding to you and this exchange with us out here with you being a coach, how is this excitement for you building up? Because this is a career path, a career choice for you. How are you more excited every day to be a coach?
Oh, it's blissful. I mean, it's as simple as I can put it. Every day I get to meet someone, and they come up and they present me with all these problems. Oh, this is not working out. This is not working out. And then they start speaking to through their problems, and I'm asking questions. Oh, what's happening? What's the situation? And it's amazing the way as I start speaking to them, there's a bulb that goes off in their head. Oh, I never even thought about this. oh my God, this is something that's been right in front of my face all this time. And it's so fulfilling to see them transform this way. At the same time, in the background, I am completely enjoying my business, and I find that a very rewarding experience. So it's a multifaceted beauty.
Excellent, excellent. And I know even just on the networking side, it's fun and rewarding. You know, you and I are doing that. We're discussing how we have our list of mutual contacts through you're doing your efforts, I'm doing mine. And, you know, I forget what the number was, like 47 contacts or something like that, that we both met through our individual efforts to grow what we're doing. You know, on my side, it's, you know, with World Ability Podcast Network, and we do our shows on Wednesdays with River West Radio. We have Saturdays we're doing this format, but then we open it up to, as you've experienced, with group conversations, and then we're teamed up with Transform You. We've got Nonprofit TV. Lawrence Wingate we met through the Happy Neighbor Project, and he's got Wingate Studios. And we met Zach Clayton, you know, out of Colorado through Happy Neighborhood Project, and we're working with him through his PAC channel. You know, so I just am saying this to say I'm excited in terms of this opportunity you're bringing to us here at this network. And, you know, everybody out there watching and listening to this video, there really is something to your approach. And like I said, I know a list of other coaches. So I'm hearing from you, and with what you're describing, you know, I can report that my review is there is a distinction between you and the list of other coaches in our network. So this is great to add you into the coaching force and to have you right now at the forefront. And we got the focus right here with you, AJ, and it just really is a good conversation to be in, because now all of us out here that are running businesses, and we heard you say in terms of, you know, just a gerbil turning the wheel, just doing it because you got to do it, and the sweat equity, and now to hear that you're going to bring a little bit more strategy, perspective, you know, a paradigm shift. Some people are saying, you know, work, you know, get to where you're working on your business, not so much in your business, because when you're just in there in the LinkedIn conversations and you're doing email and you're calling people back and you're doing all that clerical type stuff, sometimes you lose focus on, you know, the things that bring your company more profit. You may be kind of shifting away from that. You may be doing a little bit too much of just doing busy work, making your business busyness, you know, type of thing, right? So if people are inclined to learn more about your style and to continue their journey and being highly informed about what the experience might be for them, that they would hire you to be their coach, where can they go? Websites, whatever. We have screen sharing on here. I don't know if you want to invoke screen sharing or if we just do that another time.
They can look
any
me up on
websites or anything?
Facebook. So right now, a lot of my work is on Facebook and LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, I am just about to get into LinkedIn, and I've been doing all my work on Facebook. Those are the two platforms they can find me. If you want, I can leave links here for them. Let me just quickly grab that.
And then while you're doing that, is that okay if I read off the spelling of your name so that people can kind of have that for that they know they found you? So the spelling of his name, everybody, is Abhishek. So Abhishek, and then Joshi is Joshi, and then he helps us out in building friendships with all of us to say, hey, you can just call me AJ, but find him. That's how you find him. So Facebook.com is basically Facebook.com/ just put a V in the middle of it. His middle initial V is put in there for his handle on Facebook. And then LinkedIn has his first name, Abhishek, hyphen V hyphen and then 5884A54A. And then all of us here Transform You and with the World of Ability Podcast Network and with Emily, my wife Sue, and I, and Dio, and all of us here through all of these shows that we do. We're happy to play customer service and help get you to AJ. However, we can help with that. If people want to call or text me, feel free to call or text 262-372-1SKI. That's 262-372-1754. And email wise, I'm Kurt, Kurt, at projectdiehard.org. And also feel free to hit me up as well on my Facebook and LinkedIn profiles. And wherever you find me, Google me, Kurt Roskoff. I'm happy to respond. And we have our podcast engineer, scheduler, and virtual assistant, Emily. And then Tim is also on here doing hosting and so forth. So all of us with the network can help you get your quest to get connected with AJ, and we can do the personal and or professional business introductions. And we believe that when you get caught up to us here at World of Ability, you too will know, like, and trust AJ. There we go. We got him. AJ is our coach. So with that, we're going to say goodbye for now, and hopefully we'll have AJ back here in the future. Hopefully this wasn't the last one. And AJ was talking to me earlier about before we did this thought with what we did now in January, but maybe we have some debriefing to do and bring something back with AJ in 2024, if not again in December. But so far we haven't been talking about that. But for sure here, World of Ability Podcast Network, we are here for you. Even later today, we have Tim Tarosian with Blue Collar Crypto.